My name is Denise McKelvey, and I am the moderator for this evening's candidate debate. Before we begin, please silence all phones and electronic devices. Additionally, please refrain from any interruptions to the debate as it is being recorded for on-demand viewing and post-captioning services. The Citizens Clean Elections Commission is the sponsor for this evening's event. The Clean Elections Act is a campaign finance, reform, and public education measure initiated by Arizona citizens and passed by voters in 1998. The Clean Elections Act was created to allow campaigns to be more issue-oriented and less negative. The system provides full funding for qualified candidates who participate voluntarily. The candidates agree to abide by Clean Elections Act and rules, which include contribution and spending limits, foregoing special interest money, as well as participating in commission debates. The candidates invited to participate tonight are in contested general elections. Candidates in uncontested general elections are not included in the debate process. For tonight's debates, questions have been prepared by Clean Elections based on a voter survey, as well as questions that have been submitted by voters through the Clean Elections smartphone app. However, we encourage live audience questions first. If you have questions, please print them clearly on note cards given to you when you entered and hold them up. Our volunteers will pick up the cards and bring them to me. If you need additional cards, just raise your hand. We screen questions for clarity to eliminate duplications, speeches, or personal attacks on candidates. The debate is scheduled for 30 minutes, so we may not get to all audience questions, but we will do our best. There is an independent timer who will assist the candidate in answering the questions within their allotted time and will tell her when her time is up. Tonight's debate includes 2 minutes opening statements. We'll do a quick lightning round, 1 minute to answer audience questions, and then we'll end the debate with a 2-minute closing statement. We ask that you remain polite to the candidate and give her a fair, uninterrupted hearing, no matter how strongly you may agree or disagree with anything being said. Tonight's participant is running for office in District 12. Her name, Miss Elizabeth Brown. She's a Democrat. She is a Commission Clean Elections candidate, and she's running for State Senate. Ms. Brown, will you start your opening remarks, please?
I would like to thank the Citizen Clean Election Commission and all of you for attending tonight. My name is Elizabeth Brown, and I'm running for the State Senate. The reason I am running is because I truly love Arizona. I have been administrative assistant in both Governor Napolitano and Governor Brewer's office, as well as in the state legislature. I believe that this experience has given me the insight and knowledge to be a leader that our state truly needs. I believe that we need to properly invest in public education. The national average per student is $10,000, and here in Arizona, it's $6,300. To me, that is unacceptable and frankly, quite embarrassing. I also believe in renewable energy, and I would like to be your voice by listening to your issues and taking them to the state capitol. Thank you.
Thank you. To break the ice, we'll start with a quick lightning round. Please answer with just one word. Ms. Brown, Pandora or Spotify?
Neither.
CNN, Fox News, or MSNBC?
All.
Netflix or Hulu?
Netflix.
Thank you. At this time, we'll begin the portion of the debate where the candidate will answer audience questions. Ms. Brown, your first question. Will you support legislation in 2017 to change the state law so that the Pinal County residents, more specifically Santan Valley residents, have the right to decide for themselves if they want to vote on whether or not they want to become a city without allowing neighboring municipalities from vetoing their right to vote?
I believe that they have the right to become a city if they would like, and I don't think that other entities should get involved with that.
Thank you.
That's good. Thanks.
Next question. 1 in 4 kids in Arizona are considered food insecure. Over 500,000 pounds of food were distributed by St. Mary's Food Bank Alliance to families from LD12 last year. What are your plans to alleviate hunger in our state and this district?
I think it's important that we have outside organizations helping the poor. However, I do think that our state should be helping also. I think that if we would have if we would close loopholes and the businesses would pay their fair share of taxes, that we would have money to be able to help these families in need. Thank you.
Thank you. Next question. What is your view of the SNAP/food stamp program?
Again, I feel that that is a good program. A lot of these questions and issues, I know I'm going to be going back to the tax breaks, because I really believe that if these big corporations would just pay their fair share like we all do, and if we would close loopholes, and if the wealthiest people in Arizona would pay their fair share, I think a lot of these problems would be eliminated. I don't think that, we're trying to punish someone for having money. I just believe that they need to pay their fair share. Thank you.
Thank you. What role should the Arizona State Legislature play in regulating a ban on plastic bags in Arizona towns and cities?
Oh, sorry. I do not believe that the state legislature should get involved in what cities want to do. First of all, plastic bags are horrible for our environment. We have known this for many years. I do not see why we do not carry our own bags and enforce people to do that. I mean, it's just the right thing. I was in Germany in 1998, and I went to the store with my girlfriend, and they were carrying their own bags, and I started doing that myself in 1998. So, no, the state legislature has no business getting into what cities want to do.
Thank you. Are you in favor of police officers wearing body cameras?
I am in favor of police officers wearing body armor because it would help to, see what happened, and it would help the police officer, and it would also help other people involved. And whenever I watch sports, I know that they don't have cameras like right on their body, but we have cameras to make sure the touchdown is right. We have cameras to make sure that the football player wasn't out of bounds. We make sure that the basketball was actually on the 3-point line. And these are sports events, but yet when it comes to human life and who's in the right, we don't hold anyone accountable, or it's not plain in sight who's accountable. So I believe that they should, just to protect everyone involved. Thank you.
Thank you. Would you support a bill which requires charter schools and private schools to hire certified teachers in order to receive tax money? Why or why not?
Yes, I believe that private schools and charter schools should be held to the same standards as public schools. So yes, I think they should be certified as a teacher, and just have the same standards as public schools. Thank you.
Thank you. Next question on education. In 2007, it was the last time we cost accounted our K through 12 special education costs. No one in the state knows the last time we cost accounted for the entire K through 12 education system. How often do you think we should cost account our K through 12 education / special education costs?
We need to keep up with the special ed. I believe that we need to fund special education. I know that there are charter schools that are opening up for that reason because the state doesn't provide the services and doesn't have a lot of money towards that. So we should probably do it every year. Thank you.
Thank you. What is your view of the American dream, and what should the role of government be in helping individuals achieve that dream?
Well, first of all, the American dream, when I think of that, I think of my parents. My father was in the Navy, and he ended up getting his GI Bill. He got his bachelor, master's, and PhD, and was a superintendent of public schools in several districts in Ohio. My mother was a stay-at-home mom, and they had 7 children, and my father was able to give us a comfortable life on a single family income. And then my mother, after we were all in school, later went on to get her master's. I just think the government, we should help people to advance and to achieve the American dream. Thank you.
Thank you. If you were to be elected, what would be the first bill you would submit? And would you consider your most important issue to address?
The first bill that I would have would be to create a citizen-led committee of ethics for the state legislatures. As it is now, when something comes up, the state legislatures are the ethics committee, and I think that could be a conflict of interest, so I would like to have the citizens have a committee to do that. And the second part?
It was along the same lines.
Oh.
In terms of what would you consider your most important issue to address?
One of my most important issues would be for Gilbert in my district, our saying is to put our money where our house is, and so to support local businesses here in Gilbert, and I would try to actively do that.
Thank you.
For all the towns. It wouldn't be just Gilbert, because it is a state.
Thank you. The next question is on health care. What are your thoughts about the state of Arizona's efforts to expand the state's Medicaid health care program to include an additional 340,000 low-income Arizonans?
I think that we do need to expand that. I think another thing, I really believe that people want to do well. And I believe that people don't want to have services. I think if people are given the opportunity to be successful, that they will. And so to me, this all kind of interlocks with each other, that if we have reasonable wages, if we have services to educate people, that a lot of these services might not have to have this many people draw into them. Thank you.
Thank you. Next question. Arizona has joined the lawsuit against the Obama administration's guidance on how schools should treat transgender students. What is your opinion about this decision?
Frankly, in my opinion, we should treat everyone with respect. And like this bathroom issue, when I was in California and in a public restroom, it was both genders could use the same one. And I've been in airports years ago, and anyone could use them. So I don't think we should be fighting the president, and I just believe that everyone should be treated with respect and dignity. Thank you.
Thank you. What are your thoughts regarding increasing the state's minimum wage?
I am in favor of raising the minimum wage because the cost of living goes up every year. Gas goes up, utility bills go up, food goes up, but yet people on minimum wage, it doesn't go up. When people work for businesses, they hope that they get a raise every year so that they can support their families. And right now, and then we wonder why, people that are working have to, they qualify for food stamps because they're not making enough money. Well, if people would get paid a reasonable amount of money, then they wouldn't have to get food stamps. So to me, it's just logical. Thank you.
Thank you. What are your thoughts on whether the government should invest more in building or expanding the border fence in Mexico?
If we would build a fence, I think it would send a wrong message to the whole world. To me, it's hateful. It's the national government's responsibility to enforce immigration, and it hasn't been done. And so it's really not up to us to do, and I am just totally against the fence, and it's just wrong. Thank you.
Thank you. Next question on gun issues. What is your position toward the expansion of regulations on gun ownership in Arizona?
I am a Democrat, and I am not here to take anyone's guns. However, I do feel that we need to have gun control. We need to have background checks. Online sales need background checks. Everyone should have a background check. I think that the semi-automatic weapons are for war. You don't need a semi-automatic to go hunting. You can go to a gun range if you really feel the need to try some of these guns. That would be fine, but I just don't think that in everyday normal life, to protect yourself, you need a semi-automatic weapon. Thank you.
Thank you. A 2015 news report noted Arizona is facing a multi-billion-dollar gap in the state highway fund and for future road building and maintenance projects. How would you address this shortfall, and do you support or oppose the idea of raising the state gasoline tax?
It goes back, for me, to corporations and the wealthiest of wealthy people. I think it would help dramatically if people would just pay their fair share of taxes. Then the state would have money to be able to have good roads. Honestly, I'm not really sure about raising the gasoline tax right now. I think we should close loopholes for the businesses and corporations to see where we're at. And maybe, then if we would have to. But we should look into something else first. Thank you.
Thank you. What is your position of drug testing for welfare recipients?
I'm really not, I'm not in favor of that. I think it's just trying to be mean. I don't even know if that many people do drugs on welfare. I mean, do we have a statistics that say, like 80% if they do? Well, then maybe we should look at that. But I haven't seen any statistics on how many people on welfare are on drugs. So I would like to know that first before I decide on anything. Thank you.
Thank you. What are your thoughts about renewable energy, solar, wind, hydro, etc., generation in Arizona?
I looked this up yesterday. In Phoenix, there are 300 days of sun. To me, it is, I don't usually use this, but it's sinful to me that we are not using the sun for energy. It just doesn't make sense to me. I understand that the electric companies will get upset, but we're always inventing new things. And so, we will train people. We will build things. It will help the economy. I think that we just need to work together to do what's best. And we have this sun beating down on us, and we're not using it for what its potential is. So I am totally in favor of renewable energy and wind farms, etc. Thank you.
Thank you. What is your position on the Common Core education standards, which determine what K through 12 students should know in English and math at the completion of each grade?
I believe in Common Core. I think there should be standards. I think that students need to think critically. And I'd like to use an example. When my parents moved to Arizona in '77, I had 4 younger brothers and sisters, and we came from Ohio. And my 2 sisters, their teachers were a little embarrassed and upset because my sisters were way above where the rest of the students were. And so actually the teacher would take a group of children to U of A on Saturdays so that they could, use their brain because they had already learned everything. So to me, this is a perfect example of why we have to have standards for everyone in the United States for all grade levels so that we're on the same page. Thank you.
Thank you. What is your perspective on the adoption of a law to allow for the purchase and use of recreational marijuana among those 21 and older in Arizona?
I'm in favor of that law. You look at statistics with people who smoke marijuana and people who drink, and so many more accidents occur with alcohol. Marijuana is a natural herb. I am in favor. Thank you.
Thank you. What is your position regarding the federal government assigning control of Arizona's federal public lands to the state?
Our state seems to have trouble managing money for important issues like education, and so it's wrong for the state to have anything to do with the federal land. And in my opinion, if the state would get a hold of the federal land, they would just build houses and tear it up, and the federal land is there for a reason, to protect our environment, because we need to have trees and and we don't need to mine everything, and we don't need to have a house on every piece of land. So I do not think the state should take it over. Thank you.
Thank you. What is your position on voters having to provide identification in order to vote in Arizona elections?
To me, if you have that law, it's trying to disenfranchise voters. I do not recall of any fraud going on in Arizona. For as long as I've lived here, my driver's license has been fine. If a person doesn't drive and they just have an ID, that is fine. If a person has 2 bills that come to their house, that is fine. So I just think that we can leave it where it is, and we don't need a voter ID state card. Thank you.
Thank you. In the event of a budget shortfall, what is your philosophy and approach?
I know I sound repetitious, and I don't mean to, but the reason we have shortfalls are because the corporations aren't paying their fair share of taxes, and the wealthiest of wealthy people are not, and they find loopholes, and I'm sorry, in my opinion, it's wrong. It's just wrong. I pay my taxes. Everyone here pays their fair share of taxes. So corporations and the wealthiest people can do the same. Thank you.
So your last question for the evening. Please state why voters in your district should vote for you.
Because I would have an open door policy. I love to talk to people. I love to meet new people. I like to listen to people. And I want to do what is best for our state. As a clean elections candidate, I am not beholden to anyone except the voters and constituents in my district. That is who I am beholden to. So I would appreciate the voters to vote for me in District 12. Thank you.
Thank you. We'll move into closing statements now. Ms. Brown, would you like to begin that?
Well, actually, I kind of just said what my closing statement was with that. Because I am a clean elections candidate, I am not beholden to anyone. And so I would open my door and listen and do what's best for our community and the state of Arizona. I moved to Arizona in 1981. I picked Arizona. My family was here, but I still picked it. And I love Arizona. And frankly, sometimes I'm embarrassed to be from Arizona because of what has been going on with education and the immigration. It has been made a fiasco. And so I just want to bring common sense, logic back to our state. I ask for all of you who live in District 12 to vote for me on November 8th and when you get your early ballot. It's been a pleasure, and thank you very much.
Thank you.
Is that it?
We thank you very much for participating in our forum tonight.
You're welcome.
And to our audience, we thank you all for taking the time to come and inform yourselves before voting. We encourage you to visit www.azcleanelections.gov, where you can find information on upcoming elections, download the Clean Elections app, and learn about candidates running for office. A link to the video of this debate, as well as other Clean Elections debates, will be posted on that site within 72 hours of a scheduled debate. Please fill out your debate evaluation forms you received as you entered and return it to one of our volunteers. Your feedback is very important to the Commission, and we will improve our future debates from those evaluations. Thank you all for coming tonight, and you are welcome to stay and speak directly with tonight's participant.
I'm bailing it out of here.